Well, I'm back. Sorry, I couldn't resist doing another stream today. I love DIALTOWN. Gotta be one of my favorite games. Open up chat. Nobody's here, probably. Because nobody ever gets here this early unless it's one of my stupid Roblox streams that people like more. And on to DIALTOWN. Why not? You know, I can't tell if I respect you more for seeing what you've lived through. Up close, I just fear you a little now. Haha, you should fear me, Norm. How'd you even survive in a place like this? Believe it or not. You can make a sling for broken limbs out of duct tape. You can make it through almost anything if there's something to reach for. It's a lot harder without one, ain't it? Is that? No, it couldn't be. Is it? Now, Kurt Often, what you talking about? Bigfoot! My darling, it's you! Holy shit. That's fucking Bigfoot. What the f— Shh, shh, baby, it's okay. This is Norm, he's a friend. Yes, baby, he's an ally of the Squatch. Oh, that paper bag, he's covering up his normie face. Isn't that right, Norm? Was Bigfoot real the whole time without me knowing? Why didn't anyone try to tell me? I told you numerous times. That doesn't count somehow. It counts, baby. It counts. He's a sprinting ape man. How in tarnation has he evaded capture for God knows how long? Okay, let's just calm Bigfoot. Come out from behind your hands. There we go, baby. Now the other one. A minute ago, we've been negotiating with the mustachioed zookeeper holding a rifle. Now we're coaxing Bigfoot out from behind his own hands? Yes, yes, get with the program already. There we go. See, Bigfoot? Norm is familiar. Norm friend to Squatch. Remember Noses Bigfoot? From before the dial-up? He's one of those fellas, Bigfoot. He got lips for making out. What'd you tell him that for? Why are you making it sound like I'm gonna kiss him? Well, do you? Obviously not. Don't let me use Don't let me using male pronouns throw you off. Well, I haven't personally inspected. Bigfoot could be biologically female, is all I'm saying. Are you Bigfoot? No, no, don't do this to me. You can't do this to me, inaccurate often. I'm mixed enough without I've mixed up enough without having to envision a world where me and Bigfoot are capable of breeding. Why you... Norm, please keep your voice down. He's easily startled. You must approach him gently, with an apple in your outstretched palm, not unlike a wild horse. Lord, this is weird. This is all somewhat less weird for Bigfoot, I'm sure. After all, he also lived through a time when folks like you existed and frolicked around freely. To him, you are normal. Huh. Plus, you know, Bigfoot is very familiar with who I am, of course. Alright, forgive my lack of talk, but I gotta ask, how in tarnation are you acquainted with Bigfoot of all folks? Yes, Bigfoot, what we have is indeed very special and very whimsical. You see, Norm, long story short, I once tried to domesticate Bigfoot. How would that work when you're completely feral? Yeah, see, That was but one unworkable obstacle of many. The biggest one being, this is Bigfoot we're talking about. So, yeah, the one who taught him to keep us cool around humans then, right? Nah, see, he's had plenty experience with humans already, I presume. That can't be right. You fought in the Korean War, right? How's your Korean? I could speak it passably years ago, I suppose. You can learn language dropping bombs from planes. Bigfoot could sure as hell learn about humans sprinting through this nation's forests and national parks. Who knows, maybe even Bigfoot managed to learn a few human words. If so, do you think he'd understand things like human profanity, or would those words be great to him? Good question. Do you know fuck, Bigfoot? Oh. Don't phrase it like that. You're playing with fire when you ask Bigfoot stuff like that. At least tie him to post for a bit, or put a collar and leash on him before you ask him questions like that, please and thank you. Whoa, 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 a moment ago you were all about freedom! Someone's a bit of a hypocrite, ain't they? First of all, that ain't natural sounding to use the terms ain't. Secondly, for your information, my moral compass ain't calibrated for a world where Bigfoot just happens to be running amok in my immediate vicinity. So, can he speak? Well, no, not really. Not really? What you mean by not really? You see, I tried to teach him to speak fluent English. But when he wasn't getting it, I kind of got fed up and immediately gave in. Moved on, put a necktie on him, and tried to get him to successfully operate a toaster. Yes, Bigfoot, it was an unmitigated disaster. Bagels should not glow, nor... Oh, shit. But he almost figured it out, Norm. What the hell? I might as well ask. Bigfoot? Do you have any wisdom you'd like to impart on us? Something you learned from me, perhaps? Oh, please. Like he's just gonna... Me? Good. Bigfoot? Good. You? Good. You? Good as all. Okay, there he goes off, sprinting into the woods. Huh. Do you think he decided to leave at the moment he sensed he was no longer needed? That his work here was done? Nah, he just, sort of does that. Huh. You know, I have to admit, I'm a tad surprised. Actually, nah. Referring to how I feel right now is simply being like holding Twister that sucked you up in a past light breeze. Is that, country expression, or like... Look, when we met, I figured you're talking of helping folks was nothing more than a manipulative horseshit. That you were nothing but a green charlatan trying to sucker me into letting you use me and then discard me like this country had. But you helped raise Bigfoot's self-esteem. Is there even a word in the dictionary for that kind of good deed where you give Bigfoot a helping hand? There certainly ain't one in the Bible, that's for damn sure. I'm sure there is, dude. It's a thick book. It's likely in there somewhere. Is there anyone in this town that you haven't helped? I could think of one. It's not too late for you, you know. It's never too late. Huh. Look. You got your eggs back, whoop-de-doo, but... Well, Mare still has it out for us. We've bested her goon, sure, but considering the length she's gone to trying to take us down... What I'm trying to say is, I don't reckon this is gonna end with a peaceful heart-to-heart. We don't have to forfeit the happy ending that we deserve. Look, I don't want to mislead you. You're a nice guy, Knocker, often. You help people. I ain't like you, and the mayor certainly ain't anything like you. What are you saying? I'm saying that I don't want to implicate you on any more of this than I already have. Our deal was for us to partner up till we reached married Catface and nothing more. Bitch just step aside when we reach the mayor. Let me and her sort out business on our own. Unlike me, you ain't too deep in all this just yet. I don't want you to pay the price for what I finally realized I need to sort out once for all. And for what it's worth, I'm grateful that you brought me back here. That you went to the trouble of helping the good old folks of DIALTOWN out just because you felt like it. Downtown had more folks like you and your friends walking around, I wouldn't have turned a blind eye for as long as I did. We should get moving, I reckon. You taking 3-rower's rifle with you? Nah. Think about it further. I think it's just best if I use my single action for what I gotta do. When every 100th of a jiffy, mate, marks the difference between... I hate how he talks! When every 100th of a jiffy marks the difference between life and certain death, I think it's probably best to stick with what's familiar, you know? I dropped it at our feet back when the dynamite went off. If you want to grab it. I don't know, 2 against 1 seems kind of dirty, you know. I'm trying to improve myself. Be a good human being. Fine, fine. Be that way, then. But if you don't take it, then we may as well consider us leaving the rifle on the ground for one of the escaped baboons to pick up. I'll take it. That's the only moral decision here. I'll leave it. Who am I to prevent baboons from arming themselves? Please don't partake in activities that'll lead to baboons having firearms, please and thank you. Ha! Who's the hypocrite now, Mr. Right to Bear Arms? Now, I love the Second Amendment, but I love it as is, without baboons being covered by it. Thank you very much. Well, once our Constitution applies to wholesale baboons, this country will be fucked in a whole new kind of way. You mark my words. Are baboons not American, Normo? I'm sure that if our founding fathers wanted baboons to be able to have muskets, the word baboon would have been mentioned passively somewhere in the Bill of Rights, at least. Come on now, Grafton. Let's clear out of this crackling cesspit that's crawling with critters. His voice is getting really annoying to do. Oh, this isn't much of an improvement. I'm genuinely surprised it's gotten this bad. I reckon the zoo's walls would have shielded downtown from even some of the raging inferno of animals. What walls? The ones that just kinda exploded? Fair point. At any rate, there's only one thing left for us to do. Get to town hall and confront that damned mayor once and for all. You stitched together sloth, you verticessant villain! Well, look who it is. I've been waiting a long time for... Out of my way, freak. This is between me and the green one. Excuse me? Me? What I thought, isn't Norm your nemesis? That pistol-wielding integrate? My nemesis? My office is full to the brim with hippos and fire! Do you even know the full extent of what you've done? Oh, boo-hoo! My home is on fire and I hate hippos, apparently. You've torn apart the social order in DIALTOWN, the society that I so tirelessly cultivated, like a depraved dog in a manger. Listen here, Missy. My friend ain't here to pick the fight with you. I am. I've been itching to teach you a lesson for a long time. Oh, that's rich. The bumbling hick from bumfuck nowhere is going to reach the mayor of DIALTOWN a lesson? Norm, you are nothing to me. Before today, you hadn't entered my head once since the day I kicked you to the curb. Just as I'd planned, you spent every day after your exile from DIALTOWN camped out in the wilderness, stewing in your own bitterness, like a petulant toddler stuck in timeout. But him? Me? You! I should have torn your head from your shoulders and hurled it into the next state, just like the others suggested. Should have filled you so full of lead that you set off metal detectors in Minnesota. Oh, you. It was all going exactly the plan. Every one of my specifications diligently met, and then you. You dragged him back to town after years of sulky inactivity, divided and deterred my best goons. And now the whole city has been set ablaze! Years of planning, all disintegrated in a single crime spree. And for what? All for a deranged monster who can tell he's not wanted. Now, Missy, if you wanna pick up... Norm, how are you not getting this? I don't care about you. Frankly, it's beyond laughable that you somehow think you're on a loop. That you understand any of what's happening. You're a pathetic little man, Norm. And you want me to consider you a significant variable in all of this? After you just spent the last 3 years of your life licking your wounds in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, too afraid of me to strike back? You're nothing. And if you weren't a freak, you wouldn't stand out to me at all. Oh, so I'm the freak? Someone clearly can't see any further than them whiskers. You're as strange as they come, Missy. Difference is, you get to boss others around, tell honest folks with this town of what they have to consider normal. There ain't nothing normal about you, though. No, siree. None of this has anything to do with what I consider normal, you bagged cretin. This is how DIALTOWN is meant to be. My grandfather's vision. Yeah, well, unlike you, I've actually met your grandpappy. I knew Callum Crown, the real Callum Crown. Not the face plastered on that postcard you've been clutching for all these years. Hell, I saw the DIALTOWN you're trying to recreate with my very own eyes. The DIALTOWN of today ain't nothing but a soulless husk of what it once was. And your soulless husk of a leader too, unfit to carry Crown's name or lead to this city. Back in our day, pussycats weren't left in charge of whole cities. Excuse me? I've reinvigorated this town, revitalized it. This town has grown, developed, blossomed because of my vision, my leadership. I am the blood that flows through this town's veins. I earned my place here. Yeah. And I soared above smoke-filled battlefields and godforsaken war zones for the country. Hell, even jetted off into space all for Uncle Sam. I've forged a new frontier, sacrificed my old life for whatever he said, and now, thanks to you, I've gone from jetson bombs from aircrafts to being the one jetsoned. Some things I've gotten for my service here. I could say the same for your grandpappy's service to our country. Festering away in that old nursing home without a single memory lived in that head of his. He deserved better. You think I don't know that? All of this I'm doing for him. Bullshit. None of this is for him. Throwing trash like me inaccurate after our DIALTOWN. Having your mug replaced with a replica of his old cat's face. Really think any of that's gonna make Papa able to love you any more than he still can? I'm trying to make him remember, damn it. I'm trying to make him remember who he was, what he did for the world. I've done everything that I could to make him remember. I've taken him to locations around town that he would recognize, brought him to other people who knew him. Even God wasn't able to fix what was broken inside my papa's head. Hell, even my head, modeled to be my exact specifications, to resemble his old cat. The day after they took the bandages off, I visited him in the nursing home. I was so sure that he'd remember that I'd see some life in him once he saw my face, the face of his old cat again. But no. As I sat beside him, clutching his hand with mine, my grandfather wouldn't even look at me. He was gazing at something outside. Something frolicking around nearby, just outside his bedroom window. Papa was so transfixed that he wouldn't even glimpse at me. Do you know what he was staring at instead? What? You! Rummaging around, eating from the open trash cans in the nearby alley just outside his window. I'd forgotten my whole face reconstructed just to see that old man smile, and he wouldn't even look at me. Instead, his gaze consumed by the trash-eating menace sauntering around about the outside. You! You tumor, you pox, you parasite. This isn't my fault. I was so close. My final chance to recreate this postcard. Do you remember it? It's, familiar, yeah. This is DIALTOWN, as it was in the year 1966, year of the dial-up. I've tried my hardest to recreate Uptown from his time using the image on this postcard. But you've been a perpetual thorn in my side since the very moment I became aware of you. One day, I decided to take him to the park and we spotted your tent, a burlap blemish on the landscape. I tried recreating this photograph, amassed a crowd uptown to take me to place of the one shown in this postcard. Hoped that he'd step into frame, take his place at the front of the crowd, only to realize that the cinema had been converted into a horror attraction, throwing the whole image off. Apparently, you had hand in that. Aha! I did! And I didn't. Did and I didn't. Ah, Oliver's Root. Classic. What does that even mean? Because of you, I had threatened that Dickens geezer with draconian legal ramifications for unauthorized site altercations, just to get him to revert the outside of that ghastly attraction to its former appearance. The next day I passed through Uptown. The front of the bank was plastered with help wanted signs because the bank's reputedly reliable teller up and left on wind without giving proper notice. Sure enough, as it turned out, you had hand in that too. It was you! It's always you! I've strived tirelessly to establish a natural order, to cultivate a better, no, a perfect DIALTOWN, only to have you ruin it each and every time. What? So, cause he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Whenever you wanted to recreate your little photograph, he just had to leave town? Mighty fun leadership on your part there, Missy. None of this was personal, you cretin. Not at first. Just like you, Inaccurate Acting was nothing more than another problem that needed to be steamrolled. Something in my way. Do y'all remember when this was a dating game? Like... Do y'all remember when this was a dating game? But, no. You resisted each and every attempt I made to resolve this peacefully, to remove you without using force. And when I tried that, you burned my city to the ground. The city was, on fire when we got here. Oh, boo fucking who? The city was, on fire when we got here? No, it wasn't! Oh shit, my delightful plot has fallen on deaf ears. You are so fucking stupid. Gut-wrenchingly foolish as he might be, Accurate Afton is still a free citizen, Missy. He has much of a right to live here as anyone else. He isn't ghosting just anyone else the chance to come back. This is my grandfather we're talking about. The visionary who changed the world, the greatest man to have ever lived. You want me to sacrifice the last shot I have to bring him back? Or for a worthless parasite? He's done more for DIALTOWN than you ever have. This worthless parasite has aided your people, Missy, enriched the lives of your most downtrodden citizens. All while you rob the citizens of this here town blind, using their hard-earned dollars to line the pockets of you and your cabo. Things ain't gonna get better for this town till you're the one who's out of the picture. You have no idea what you're talking about. This backwater town would be nothing without me. You think these backwater hicks would do anything without me? That DIALTOWN would have a future without my guidance? They need governance. Do you really see your own citizens that way? Oh, wrong voice. Oh, your grandpappy would have hated you. I'm going to fucking kill you. And when I'm done with you, I'll move on to your green friend and splay him out in front of the whole town. I'm going to pick each and every stitch out of his head with my claws and send each and every one of them to my enemies. So they'll know what happens when nobody's like you to mess with Mayor Mingus Crown. Now hang on, Justup. You've ruined enough lives, Missy. You out of chances, out of time, and shit out of luck. I'm putting you down. Here on now. You fool! I have cat-like reflexes. I could leap faster than a bullet could leave the barrel of your gun. You'd miss, and then I'd gouge your eyes out with my razor-sharp claws. Do you honestly think you can leap faster than a speeding bullet? Out of your goddamned mind, Norm. Go ahead, try, make my day. You'd miss. I don't miss. So, here we are. Together we departed, and together we pregnate. Pregnate? No, I laid my eggs back in Act 1, don't you remember? Oh shit, am I pregnant again? Accurate Afton. It's a pleasure, as always. Oh, hey, narrator. I feel like we haven't talked in a while. We haven't. Truth be told, I haven't had much to say since you met Norm. Well, I haven't had to say much, rather. I suppose I was more useful back when you were a hermit and didn't care about anyone else. You know, back when you didn't have anyone to keep you from wandering into oncoming traffic. But now, look at you. Dare I say, you've blossomed. I have? You've got a family, Inaccurate Afton. A dysfunctional one, granted. And, yeah, one full of people who aren't actually related in the slightest. And sure, okay, one of them happens to be Bigfoot. But, as they say, family which happens to contain Bigfoot is still by definition a family. You've come a long way, Inaccurate Afton. Whoa, epic! Oh hey, you're good at explaining things, right? Apparently so, yes. So, what's going on right now? I'm not following any of this, to be honest with you. Are you? Norm's gonna kill Mayor Mingus! That is, unless she is, in fact, able to leap out of a speeding bullet. In which case, she's gonna gouge his eyes out with her claws before he reloads. Huh. Only to just stand there and let this happen? Well? Huh? This is it! Speak up, Inaccurate Afton. The ending of the story is in your lime-hued hands. Yeah, alright, here I go. Norm? Awkward Afton, this ain't a good time. You can talk once I... Norm. Alright! We're at the option that will decide our fate. And I'm not leaving right now. But I have to use the bathroom. So, AFK time. Cliffhanger. Hold on, give me a second. AFK. Okay. here we are. This choice will decide everything. And despite how much I want to kill people, Norm, don't shoot. Please. Pardon? Did you seriously think I'm gonna back down this far on top? I mean, my journey. Norm, together we departed. Awkward often, can't you see? I'm doing this for you. For all of DIALTOWN. This town doesn't have hope in hell of surviving under that cat's paw. This town has survived the test of time, and that's precisely because of me. Without my grandfather's leadership, this town would have been nothing more than a glorified truck stop. I've bided my time for long enough. When Papa comes back, he ain't coming back. You're unfit to lead, unfit to serve. You're being retired, like it or not. Norm, don't do this. I'm not letting this cat-faced charlatan just take your only home away from you. Let her take you away from DIALTOWN. Are you really doing all of this just for me? At this point, I honestly reckon I am. Forget my grudge with the mayor for a moment. If anyone has earned this place in this town, it's you. Wait, how? I'm just a creature, Norm. You don't give up on people. You didn't give up on me. Even now, you're still trying to save my hide. I don't care if I sound nuttier than a squirrel shit Stanton. DIALTOWN just can't afford to lose someone like you. If you're doing this for me, can I ask you for just one favor? Please don't say. Please drop the gun. Awkward often, she'll steamroll you. Oh, believe me, I will. See? Shh, I'm trying to save your hide here. She doesn't deserve mercy, inaccurate often. You don't have to do this. Except, I do. You don't. You have friends now. You don't have to go after all this is over. We outnumber her. We'll stand behind you. That is, if you don't prove her right. Awkward often. It's your one shot, Norm. To prove years of propaganda wrong. Your one shot to prove the mayor a liar. Can't believe it. For years I've dreamt of this moment, and you just talked me down from it. You're your own man, Norm. You should owe me mercy because you care about justice. Deep down, you know this shouldn't be your decision alone. This shouldn't be the people's. I mean, this should be the people's. Or inaccurate often. I'm backing off. She's all yours. Do you honestly think that telling your hick friend to holster his pistol changes anything? I am beloved by this town. I am the blood that flows through DIALTOWN's veins, just like my grandfather was. I am the most essential component of this backwater cesspit. An enforcer. No. A liberator. You couldn't dream of achieving even a fraction of what I have. I'm not just going to make Papa remember who he is, oh no. I'm going to make him proud, damn it. Wait, hold on. I've waited long enough. I'm going to splay you out in front of the entire town. For the first time in your life, your bones are going to get to see the moonlight. Shit. This is a real pickle, innit? You talk like a goddamn British person in my company again, I will do everything in my power to give you a brain aneurysm, you know? What I need is a... French... Deus Ex Machina! Damn it! What threads are left remaining? What lore hath remained unrevealed? Man, I don't know. Your backstory origin, perhaps? I was likely born in a fast food restaurant ball pit while screaming dead end. Something to do with Randy, maybe? Randy died as he lived. Not relevant to any of this. Move on. Jeez, I don't know, then. The rug you stole from Mingus's office? If I mention the rug, she will kill me with even greater haste. Here's my pitch. Mayor Mogo's postcard. Ask to see it, then. Quickly scarf it down like a loose slice of cheese and then book it while she was recovering. I'm going to fade the screen back now. I'm not responsible for what you decide to do once your anonymity is restored. Hey, before you kill me to fucking death with your gloved hands and such, can I see your postcard up close? What kind of troglodycy trusting tabby do you take me for? Give me this. If I handed you the postcard, you'd likely just devour it, like a slice of white cheddar. Mingus, please, I would never. If you cannot tell the truth, then just shut up. Find it hard to not be devious, Miss Bingle. I am a mischievous scamp. Do you expect me to hand a family heirloom, nay, a family artifact, to any mischievous scamp who just so happens to ask? Ye. You must truly be a maniac if you think I'd part with a genuine surviving sample of my grandfather's handwriting. Handwriting? What? Oh, there's an old love letter scrawled onto the back of the postcard, one my grandfather wrote for my grandmother back before the dial-up. But the most important thing on this postcard is the vision, his vision. Seen on the front. That's Dialtown. His Dialtown. But I've heard both you and Norm speak about what Callum would have wanted. I've actually never heard Callum speak for himself. Instead of heavily reverberated hallucinatory snippets of dialogue, that is. I'm sorry, what? Actually, for what it's worth, I happen to agree with him, Missy. For all the hemming and hawing we've done on the issue, we're both speaking for Callum. Wouldn't it be nice to hear what he has to say just this once, even if it's not on this very topic? Look, I know what's best here. This letter, and all it contains, is my family's property. My family. My birthright. Mine. Read it, Missy. I want to hear what it says. You can't make me. Actually, I can. Hand it to inaccurate after an oral fire. If you want to know what it says so badly, why don't you just read it yourself? Then, huh? If you're close enough to hand me that postcard, you're close enough to disarm me. Pass it on over to him. I'll give it back when you're done reading it, you know. Go ahead, then. Shoot me. Just try. Mingus! Alright, alright. One glance, then straight back. Let's see here. It says... Oh, right, I can't read. Yep, exactly, as everyone else here can recollect. Ah, good afternoon. Just hand me the postcard. Fine with you getting close. That was the plan, after all. No, hold on. Let me try. I've got a few words on the last one. Let me try and sound it out. DIALTOWN 910 Sicko Silks hot dog. Sixto Silks hot dog. Pah, he's not getting it. Hand it back before he devours it. Accurate Afton, for the love of all that is holy. Just hand me the... No, I can do this. Just need to imagine what he'd have written.
My dear Mom, it pains me to be away from Dialtown. But I'm glad it's still a town of misfits, just as it was when I left. As the town motto goes, all are welcome here in Dialtown.
Huh. All are welcome here in Dialtown? Are you kidding me? That quote's out of context. It ain't. What part of all didn't you hear? No. I didn't want to. You two are rogue, dangerous elements. I didn't... Yous gave me no other choice. Dear Lord, there's really no excusing any of this. The audacity. Really reckon you knew what your grandpappy wanted even better than he did, huh? Any wrong that I've done for DIALTOWN. He would have understood that I merely did what I had to do to save his vision. If he found out what I've done after I bring him back. Right? Lingus. This is definitely a hit to my formerly immaculate worldview. Am I a monster? Good Lord. After spending so long on my own, I'm able to bring a plan to last time his vision to fruition. The words on the back of this postcard seeped away, leaving only a happy photo on the front. And my one last connection to Papa faded. I huddled around, the only warmth I still could when I gazed at this postcard, my burning desire to bring him, his world, back to us. I miss him so much, Inaccurate Afton. How can you miss a man you've never really met? He lost his memory before you were born. I feel that in a way that I have met him. Every time I see someone else make a call on their phone head, right using their typewriter head. Every time I see someone walking around with one of his prosthetic limbs. There's a tiny piece of him in everything around us. I see him everywhere. I just wish he could see me, too. Just want Papa to tell me he was proud of me. I know. Achieved a hell of a lot. Last time I saw him, he actually looked at me and called me Marla, somehow thinking I was my late grandmother, and he asked me if I'd do it all over with him if I was given the chance. I obviously didn't want to tell him who I really was, that my mom was no longer with us, forcing him to re-experience the heartbreak all over again, only for it to be lost alongside his fleeting lucidity moments later. So I answered as if I was her, responding, just to hope, just as I hoped she would have. Yes, my songbird, I would. He stared off, now content. His gaze slowly drifted towards the floor, and he didn't say another word. I would have given everything to give him that chance, Inaccurate Afton. A chance to make my papa proud. And for what it's worth, I knew President Crownin. Recent mishap aside, if he were here right now, I think he'd tell you that he's mighty proud of you. You said that earlier, he would have hated me. Right, and you called me a monster, to be fair. I'm happy to go back on my word this one instance if you are. Norm, don't do this right now. I didn't mean to become the monster I falsely accused you of being, Norm. I can control everything that happens in this godforsaken town. Dawson's roads, prison, taxes, laws, the very public itself are all mine to puppeteer. For crying out loud, I commanded God today and he knew to respect my authority. But one thing I can't do is release Papa from his own head. Well, if every inch of this town is entirely under your jurisdiction, then boy, do you have a mighty fine mess to clean up. After this fire goes out and these flaming critters have all rounded up and removed from the streets of DIALTOWN, you'll have to start, what do you say? Yes, quite. Norm, may I ask, would you know anything about construction? Well, as a matter of fact, I did roofing and bricklaying for a couple of years before I joined the Air Force. Why do you ask? This whole excruciating escapade has taught me anything, it's that I'm surrounded by incompetent hacks. And I simply cannot trust a single one of them with this task of leading Dialtown's reconstruction efforts. You are a worthy adversary, and one who perhaps almost bested me, so I can't think of anyone better suited to spearhead the effort rebuilding my city. So what? You exiled me, tried to kill me, and now you want me to help rebuild the very town you threw me out of in the first place? Yes, and you pressed a gun to my head, effective moments after burning this city to my ground. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. In fairness, Theodore is mostly responsible for the ensuing inferno. Fucker had dynamite. I'm looking, my face still has a signature skin on it. You see what I meant about the utter incompetence of my lackeys? Moron! It goes without saying, Norm, that if you were to do this for me, you would and naturally be granted a royal pardon, and with it the freedom to live here in peace. But does it also go with saying? Yes, which is exactly why I just said it. Oh, nice. So that means I get to stay with my new friend. I mean, yeah, alright, this is acceptable.
So thanks for being with us today, Norm. After a years-long exile, you're back in DIALTOWN.
That's right, Rachel. Hopefully for good this time.
Riveting. Could you please enlighten us as to what you've experienced and learned since your now recanted exile?
Well, I'm an old soul, and boy, have I seen a lot. Just as much after the exile as before, I guess. Like it or not, solitude changes a man. Forces you to address a fundamental part of yourself that most people never even see. But I find that abject misfortune tends to either totally break
Thank
or
you, Goober
make
Paws.
us, you know?
Did I already say that? I think I
Plus,
might have.
I guess it wasn't so bad being alone for so long. I had good company.
Fascinating. Is there anything you'd like to say to the residents of DIALTOWN in the spirit of moving forward? No profanity, please.
Why, yes, there is. Look, I spent many years stewing in my own acrid juices. Wretched imagery aside, I know better than anyone that a caustic heart consumes its owner. When society itself has transformed you from a man to an outcast, made you out to be a monster, it can be difficult not to become the very monster that they claim you are. It can be difficult not to prove them right. I came close to doing just that. But someone saved me. A green messiah who ended up teaching me more in one day than my bitter mind had conceptualized in years.
When you say Green Messiah, are you talking about the goblin who lives in a tent at the park?
Well, yeah, I am. Looks can be deceiving, you know. Just as I was misjudged, they've been too.
Really? How so? What did they teach you?
Their lessons gave me a multitude of epiphanies. Taught me that my happiness is in my own hands, and that nobody else is going to ensure that I live a happy life. That I'm good just as I am. That I shouldn't change myself for the sake of being similar to other people, but instead, seek a future where I'm the best version of myself, not the person the world expects me to be. But most of all, my watermelon-hued friend gave me hope, something I lacked for a long time. I didn't know how badly I missed it till I felt it again. And you know, the funny thing is someone like that, someone so strange and whimsical, someone who barely resembles a human, so different and spurned, could hold such inherent wisdom and contentedness. Maybe there's hope for me after all. Maybe for all of us. Maybe things can get better. Maybe we can make the world brand new again.
Inspirational. Norm, thank you so much for coming on the show. I just have one question for you before we sign off. Where is your green friend? Could they not join you here today?
Oh, I'm sure they have a very important event to attend.
Oh, I've been reading these. My mic has been down. That's unfortunate. I've been reading these out loud. Snazzamanking, or whatever that says. Drawing the DIALTOWN achievement icons. Not being British. Can't thank her enough for that. Just look at that face. Horrifying. I love Snazzamazing. Voice actors, in order of introduction. Callum Crown, Nathan Avent. Norm Allen, Ryan Summers. Rachel at DTNN, Finley Smith. Body models. Like 4 of them. Me! Oliver, Hoodwink, thanks man. Karen, Coffee Nat. Norm, Shanbo, Epic. Mangus, Just the Head, Salvage. Misk, licensed from Null Entity. Generous folks who give me money before there was a DIALTOWN. Navid Schnarfenstein, Cora P. Tangerine, Reminis, Drachet Rabbit, Sam Farnham, Derpy382, Eric Stinksky, Doffy, Leverett, Blue Wineglass, Cecil G, Protarius, The Cursed God Charlie, Top Hat Co, Louis Tobias, I can't say these, Prezzo, Moxie F, Monty, Lucas Maddox, Cleveland Rock, Starry Sport, Cork, Achias, Raccoon, Obi, Samantha whatever that says, Bobby, Abigo Andreas, Fluffy9911, Molly, Alexandria Nika. Attribution, which was legally demanded of me. DIALTOWN Phone Dating Sim original game soundtrack composed by Nathan Hanover. They're hideous! Composed by Nathan Hanover. Kazoo, Direct Dogman. Special thanks! Reese Lilly, Maxwell Palmglow, Callum Neal for their JS plugin support. Yanfley, Actual Heim, Krimmer, Yora Korora, Freesound.org, Creative Commons, Bakelight, Phone Ring.wav, whatever this is, Door Squeak Normal, Microwave Beep. All of this. The swan at the park. You know what you did. Scott Gothard for giving me a pep talk when I was at my lowest. Thanks, Dad. Oh, and directly expiring the upcoming end screen. There's one person left to thank. When you are ready, you may proceed to the final screen of the game. I'm not ready! I don't want it to end! loved this game. I love all games by Direct Doggo, but I loved this one in particular, more than Day Shift at Freddy's, and I'm a very big Day Shift at Freddy's fan. Thank you to those who stayed watching this throughout the whole time of every DIALTOWN stream. Thank you to those who just watched my stream anyways. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, hello. If you're leaving, goodbye. And if you aren't, thank you. Hey, we've unlocked extras! Back to main menu. Behind the music, think of Doylestown's exits. Character sheets and cut stuff. Legal disclaimer. Help me, this is torture. And that was DIALTOWN. We're not done yet! We still have achievements to get, man! Still have achievements. I think there's 3 more achievements we need to get. No, 2 more achievements. Two more achievements we need to get. Let me show y'all. Two more achievements we need to get. We need to get Avid Socializer and Actual Degenerate. But I will do that at another date. Thank you all for watching me play DIALTOWN, and thank you for watching me get to the end. Bye.